Welcome to episode 2 of my home birth series. Today I'm going to be talking about labor fears. I am not a doctor, a midwife, or an expert. I am just sharing my personal experience with you. I think that most women can definitely relate to this one. I'm starting with this fear because I think it's super important to address, to not let this fear take over, because it could possibly turn a home birth into a hospital transport or a C-section. And I know that might sound a little bit dramatic, so just hear me out. In labor and birth, mindset is everything. So if you let fear take over, then the fear can lead to tension, and then the tension can lead to pain, and that can become unmanageable or perceived as unmanageable pain. One of my fears was, will I be able to push my baby out? And if not, will I have to be transported to the hospital or have a C-section? After being exhausted from my labor and laboring for almost 24 hours and at that point pushing for about 90 minutes, this fear definitely tried to creep its way in. Luckily, from all the research that I did, I knew that when I had this thought like, can I push her out, or will I be able to, or I feel like I can't, I knew that that meant that I was about to meet my baby. One important key is that had I not done that research, I probably would have given up. And because I did that research, I knew that I was close to being finished with my labor and birthing my baby. If you watch my birth video, then you'll see that at that point in time, I had said, I really don't think this is gonna happen. I intentionally said, I don't think this is gonna happen, not I can't do this, because what the mind believes, the body will follow. So I knew that if I said I can't do this, that my body might just shut down and give up and throw in the towel, basically. I just stated that I felt like it might not happen, even though I knew it was going to. I knew I wasn't gonna give up. When I thought this, I figured I'd be meeting my baby in like 5 to 10 minutes. And it was at least 20 to 30 minutes. And if you've ever labored before, then you probably know that 20 to 30 minutes feels like a lot longer than that. The key here for me was to use my fear as a motivation to keep going. I was definitely not going to be going to the hospital if it had anything to do with like my control. So I had no choice but to just buck up and push my baby out. I knew that I had to supply my baby with plenty of oxygen so that her heart rate would stay nice and healthy, and I knew that I had to continue focusing on my breathing and my midwives, what they were telling me to do, and basically just to not give up. And most importantly, I knew that I had to continue to believe in the process. No matter how defeated I felt at that moment, I knew I had to believe in my body, my baby, and the entire labor and birth process. And while believing in that process, I knew that I had to continue breathing correctly and pushing correctly with the contractions as my midwives were coaching me. And pushing her head out was by far the hardest thing I've ever done in my life. I pushed with every single ounce of everything I had in me, and that still wasn't enough for a while, and then I just pushed even harder. But after her head finally came out, the rest seemed a little bit more manageable. I just hope that this video helped you. If you have any questions about this fear in particular, or how I managed it, something I might not have mentioned, or you have any questions that you want me to address in a future video, then just leave a comment below. I would love to answer those, and I want to be as transparent as I can about everything with my labor and birth experience, so hopefully it will help you. So with that, I will see you in episode 3.